arrived. And therefore, what we decided to do was to name it Arrival Day so that it could be all inclusive to everybody. But in recognition of the contribution that our East Indian brothers and sisters made to Trinidad and Tobago, we decided to celebrate it on the day on which our East Indian brothers and sisters first arrived in this country. The PNM called it Arrival Day. So you understand? No disrespect to anybody, all inclusive. All inclusive. And the PNM said that we are doing it in this way so that nobody could feel excluded. The records will show that after the PNM lost the elections in 1995, the United National Congress which took over, and which, as the evidence in Parliament this week continues to tell us, which continues to push an agenda based on race in this country, decided to change it from Arrival Day to Indian Arrival Day, alienating everybody in the country who is not East Indian or East Indian stock. And the PNM has made it clear, we would much prefer if it is Arrival Day, but we don't intend to touch it. We don't intend to touch it. If changes are to be made to that arrangement, those ideas must come from the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM puts a case to you. It is for you to consider the case. So in the same way, it is not African Emancipation Day, it is Emancipation Day. In the same way we named it Arrival Day and not Indian Arrival Day, my dear friends, because the PNM was determined to make it all inclusive. What we know is that if you accentuate the things that divide us, then you are going to divide the society. The differences among us will conspire to divide the society rather than to unite it. The PNM is about unity and not division. And so, my dear friends, as we know a lot of this race talk gets us nowhere. The PNM doesn't want to be any part of it. I want to make another appeal to you from a PNM platform here in the College of Arima Promenade, my dear friends. I am a Christian. You know the Bible says, only love can change hearts. Only love can change hearts. And therefore we must have love one to each other. Only love can change hearts. And therefore when I say to you, I don't want any member of the PNM or any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to be involved in the practice of racial division. What in fact I am asking you to do is to make a commitment, my dear friends, from deep within your hearts. Only love can change hearts. We must demonstrate love one to the other. That is the first part of the lecture tonight. Do you agree with me or not? Matters not whether you're African, Chinese, Syrian, Lebanese, India, whatever you are, my dear friends, you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. That's all that matters to us. When the PNM puts a policy in place, when the PNM says it is free university education, the PNM is not saying that it's free university education for some people and not for others, you know. It is free university education for everybody, withstanding colors of, notwithstanding considerations of color, race, creed, or class. It is free university education for everybody. I must tell you, my dear friends, that last year, the number of graduates who came back to Trinidad and Tobago as a result of government funding abroad, scholarships abroad, amounted to 259 graduates. You know how many coming back this year? 347. And that is only government scholars, eh? I'm not talking about others who have participated at the University of the West Indies here and abroad, or the University of Trinidad and Tobago, or the University of the Southern Caribbean, or St. George's University, or UWI in Mona, or Cave Hill, or Bahamas and so on. Not talking about those at all. The numbers are far larger. And just for the record, Just for the record, my dear friends, the PNM announced in the last budget before the last, that anybody getting a first-class honors at the undergraduate level will have their education to PhD level funded by the government of Trinidad and Tobago in any university in the world. You remember that? You know how many people have taken up that offer so far? There are now 55 students from Trinidad and Tobago reading for PhD in a number of disciplines all over the world in some of the best universities that are available. Compare that, my dear friends. Compare that with dollar for dollar. Compare that with dollar for dollar. And you will realize that the PNM is head and shoulders above everybody. The PNM is head and shoulders above everybody, my dear friends, when it comes to governance and when it comes to governing with equity. We have a vision. We have a vision, my dear friends. There is no other political party in the country that has a vision such as us. It's not the first time that the PNM has had a vision. We had one in 1956, it was called the People's Charter. We had one in 1970, it was called the Chaguaramas Declaration. We had one in 1987, it was called PNM's Perspective in the World of the 80s and Beyond. And now our fourth vision, which was enunciated in the year 2000 when we were still in opposition, is a vision designed to make Trinidad and Tobago a developed country by the year 2020. Listen to how it is stated. By the year 2020, Trinidad and Tobago will be a united, resilient, productive, innovative, and prosperous nation with a disciplined, caring, fun-loving society comprising healthy, happy, and well-educated people and built on the enduring attributes of self-reliance, respect, tolerance, equity, and integrity, in which every citizen has equal opportunities to achieve his or her fullest potential. All citizens enjoy a high quality of life, where quality health care is available to all and where safe, peaceful, environmentally friendly communities are maintained. All citizens are assured of a sound, relevant education system tailored to meet the human resource needs of a modern, progressive, technologically advancing nation. Optimum use is made of all the resources of the nation. The family, as the foundation of the society, contributes to its growth, development, and stability. There is respect for the rule of law and human rights, and the promotion of the principles of democracy. The diversity and creativity of all its people are valued and nurtured. That's the way we state our vision. It is a vision of developed country status by the year 2020. And the PNM believes that to be able to achieve this, there are 5 pillars on which it must be pursued. First of all, enabling competitive business, or businesses must be competitive with all others in the world. Nurturing a caring society, the society must be caring, and that is why we spend so much money on social security. Governing effectively, which I will come to in a minute. Developing innovative people, which is why we place so much priority on education, especially at the secondary and tertiary levels, and investing in sound infrastructure and the environment, which is why, my dear friends, that we spend money on roads and electricity and water and housing and so on, the basic infrastructure of the country designed to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago moves forward and moves forward rapidly to attain the developed country status to which we aspire. In respect of the pillar of governing effectively, the minute we accept that pillar as a basis for the development of the country, then we agree, my dear friends, to review the country's governance in certain areas at the local level, which is local government reform, at the national level, which is constitution reform, at the regional level, which is regional economic and political integration, and at the international level, which, my dear friends, speaks to the review of our foreign policy and the revision of the governance, the international governance